D.B. Cooper kidnapping. It's a story that has captivated the world for decades, filled with mystery, daring, and a sense of good old-fashioned adventure. Welcome back to our channel, folks. Today we're diving into one of American history's most intriguing and enduring mysteries. Join us on a journey through the shadowy corridors of the Cooper investigation, where truth and speculation intertwine and the fact remains just out of reach. Historical genealogy has stories that capture the imagination and curiosity of generations. One such puzzle is D.B. Cooper, also known as Dan Cooper, the invisible robber who disappeared into the sky with his fortune and left a curious trail. His daring act of hijacking, known as the Cooper case, unfolded over the rugged landscape of the Pacific Northwest. As mystery surrounds Cooper's true identity and ultimate fate, this captivating narrative will captivate both novice hunters and seasoned investigators. So buckle up as we unravel the story of the man who jumped off a plane with a bag full of cash. Let's get started. On a cold November evening on November 24, 1971, an unassuming man named Dan Cooper approached the ticket counter at Portland International Airport. The nondescript gentleman appeared to be in his mid-40s. He was reserved and quiet, the kind of person who doesn't draw much attention and meekly blends into the airport crowd. Dressed in a business suit, black tie, loafers and trench coat, Cooper brought a $20 one-way ticket on Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 to Seattle-Tacoma Airport. Little did the unsuspecting crew and passengers know this remarkable feat was about to happen. Quickly organized one of the most daring hijackings in history. On the plane, nothing seemed amiss. Cooper ordered a bourbon and soda from his 18E aisle seat and settled in comfortably for the 2:50 p.m. takeoff. U of O student Bill Mitchell was seated directly next to Cooper, while another passenger, Robert Gregory, sat next to him. Later, they would both give nearly identical physical descriptions of the nondescript man who called himself Dan Cooper. Two flight attendants measure him at about 5'10", and Gregory confirms that the man in question is of Mexican or Native American descent due to a slightly darker complexion. His only luggage was a briefcase and a brown paper bag. As Flight 305 soared over the rugged terrain of the Pacific Northwest, D.B. Cooper discreetly passed a note to flight attendant Florence Schaffner, one of the 36 passengers on board. It was the eve of Thanksgiving, and in the early 1970s, it was common for men to give their phone numbers to pretty flight attendants, so Schaffner ignored the folded piece of paper and went about her business. However, when she passed the man again, he quietly but forcefully suggested that she pay close attention to his written missive. The content of the message changes events forever, as well as flights. The flight attendant's eyebrows might have been raised in surprise and frustration as she scanned the note in her hand. "Miss, I have a bomb in my bag. I want you to sit next to me." Opening his briefcase to Schaffner, Cooper revealed his trump card, a stack of wires and red sticks that looked suspiciously like a dynamite. He ordered her to write down what he told her. Cooper demanded $200,000, about $1.5 million today in ransom money, 4 parachutes and a fuel truck waiting their arrival in Seattle. Cooper's specific demands for ransom were carefully calculated. He insisted on receiving $200,000 in $20 bills, which would weigh around 21 pounds. Their need to maintain a manageable weight for his skydives led to this careful consideration. Cooper recognized that if smaller bills were used, he could risk the extra weight on the run. On the other hand, large bills will be lighter, but because of their size, it'll be more challenging for him to pass them discreetly. Furthermore, his request for random serial numbers instead of sequential ones showed his attention to detail and his desire to avoid patterns that could be traced back to him. With a bomb-like object in his possession, Cooper made it clear that failure to comply would result in dire consequences. As flight attendant Florence Schaffner hurriedly jotted down Cooper's list of demands, a sense of urgency enveloped her. With quiet determination, she walked to the cockpit door and knocked on it, wordlessly conveying the gravity of the situation to Captain William Scott, who commanded Flight 305 on that fateful day. Recognizing the seriousness of the robbery, Scott wholeheartedly believed Cooper's claims. In a remarkable display of composure, Schaffner was directed to remain in the cockpit, assuming the role of vigilant observer and documenting every moment of the unimaginable evening's unfolding. A tense exchange of words ensued as authorities scrambled to meet Cooper's demands while keeping passengers and crew safe. The ransom was quickly collected, the parachutes were retrieved, and the plane headed for its destination with Cooper at the helm. As the plane climbed 10,000 feet over the rugged Pacific Northwest, Cooper did the unthinkable. He parachuted open a rear stairwell door and jumped out into the night, taking the ransom with him. It was a daring escape that left everyone on board shocked and confused. Despite extensive searches and investigations, Cooper's whereabouts remain unknown. Some believe he died during the jump, others speculate that he successfully evaded capture and disappeared in obscurity with the stolen money. The Cooper case has spawned countless theories and inspired countless books, documentaries, and movies. Some believe that Cooper was an experienced skydiver, while others believe that he was a desperate criminal who ultimately met a terrible fate. Legend has it that D.B. Cooper has become a part of pop culture, representing the allure of a man who outwits the authorities and vanishes into thin air. His act of bravery has captured the imagination of people around the world and led to countless discussions and debates. And you have the story of a man who hijacked a plane, demanded a ransom, parachuted into the night and was never seen again. DB, the Cooper case, continues to be a fascinating mystery, leaving us wondering about the true identity and fate of this enigma. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into history's most famous and unseen skyjacker. If you have any thoughts or theories about DB Cooper, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe for more interesting stories. Until next time, stay curious.